Welcome to Rack of the Week 171. You'll notice real quickly, bottom left corner, there's a different picture there. Instead of my Ghost Hammer, I'm showing the Bridgemate. I'm a sales rep for that, and I made a video about it. You can go check that out if you're interested. It's not for everyone, but I think it's a game changer for an alternative to the regular bridge on a stick, the crutch. You can see it at shortstoponpool.com or ssop.me. Anyway, let's get into this rack. This is a little over a year ago. I've been trying to pick some racks that aren't so recent and see if I'm playing the same way or different. What's interesting about this was a high run attempts on my friend's pool table in the basement of his house back in Denver. And so I was hand racking. As you've seen any of my recent videos, I've got the little donut stickers on my table behind me here for all of the run attempts I've been doing for the past year. And when you have those donuts, you don't get big clustered racks as much. You still get a cluster of balls in the center of the table, but you get balls that open up from it very well. But when you're hand racking, unless if you've got a really perfectly tight rack, you generally get more clumpiness, and that's what we're seeing here. Let me go ahead and hit play. This is kind of a shallow angle break shot to begin with. Additionally, if I was doing this break shot today, I would shoot with follow with a little bit of right to bring the cue ball to the bottom rail and out to center table. Yeah, so I kind of stunned it off the rack. I would have been looking, if I was shooting that today, I would have gone with a high right and maybe tried to get something like that to happen with the cue ball. I don't know if that would have made a big difference, but here's what we're looking at. I call this a big clustered rack. Now, this is different from a re-break situation. When you shoot a break shot in straight pool and only one or two balls come loose, but the rest of the balls remain fairly tight in the triangle, then you can shoot a re-break, which would be you're searching for a shot that you can send the cue ball into the rack with a lot of force, expecting the rack to open up pretty well. So that's a re-break after your break shot. We don't have that in this situation, and why is that? It's because even though all the balls are right here in a cluster, there's gaps between all the balls, right? So if you had a shot, let's say the cue ball was here, and you cut the 8-ball in, and the cue ball runs into the 9. Well, the 9's going to carry them over this way. The 2's going to go this way. You're going to move a couple of balls, but not all of them, because there's too many gaps between the balls. And it's just impossible to hit it hard enough. And even if you do hit it hard enough, all the little caroms that happen, they only affect a few balls. You're not going to disturb the entire cluster. And that's the hardest rack to run. If you look at statistics-wise, look at racks played by pros and amateurs alike. Anytime you have a big cluster in the center of the table after the break shot, that is the lowest percentage of being able to continue and get through the rack. I do manage to get through this one, and that's why we're going to take a look at it. How do you get through a rack like this? You got to chip away at it, and that's a technique I've talked about before, but it really applies to this situation. You saw me go and look at an angle just now, and what you can see from here is that this ball and this ball both go in this left corner. So by getting over here, I'm going to have an opportunity to shoot one of them and perhaps chip away or knock some balls loose. And the right decision here is the 11, and I'm going to hit pause real quick, and that's because the 9 ball is my insurance ball back this way, so that's why you want to choose the 11 ball here. But again, if this was if the rack was pretty much intact with the balls mostly tight and in a triangular shape here, I might be tempted to shoot this as a re-break with a lot of force, send the cue ball forward 3 rails or something like that. But in this case, the cue ball is going to hit the 6 ball, and then what's going to happen? It's going to carry them into these, and you might hope for some good separation from these balls, but you can't. It's not guaranteed. So you don't want to get carried away. Just chip away. So I'm going to shoot this with more control. I kind of want my cue ball to stop right here, so I've got the 9 ball back this way next. And if my cue ball goes a little bit forward and hits the 3, that's okay. But I don't want to hit it hard enough where the cue ball is going to hit the 3 and carry them up here, because I could get trapped up in there somehow. So let's see how I hit this. Oh, yeah. Just a straight up stop shot. This is how you manage a clustered rack. So before the shot, there was a big cluster. Now the cluster is smaller. Now I'm going to shoot my 9 next, most likely. I don't have to. But now there's 3 balls open. So now I have more opportunities to chip away at the rack some more. So I thought this was a good example of that concept. So let's see. Oh, so I've made a decision right away to shoot that's either the 5 or the 3 ball right there. And that's a really good decision. Obviously you've got a super easy shot on the 9 ball, but what are you going to shoot next? A stop shot on the 9, you could shoot stop shot on this ball. You could shoot this one on the upper corner and then maybe run into these. That's not such a great idea. Since I have the 9 ball still there as an insurance ball, this is a great shot. Now, you could hit this softly, hoping that the cue ball might just carry him to the 6 and the 1 and just stay right here. And then you'll have this ball as insurance, or you might have one of, possibly the 2 ball on the side as insurance. Here, I think it wouldn't be terrible to go ahead and shoot this with a little more speed. I'm a little bit frightened of that because it happens more often than you think. You stroke this with a little bit of follow, hoping to open up the balls up more, and what happens is the cue ball caroms off 2 or 3 balls and goes straight in that side pocket. I'm telling you, it doesn't look like it's possible from here. Let me tell you from experience, it's possible, and it happens more often than you think. Let's see how I hit it. Yeah, that wasn't trying to open those balls wide. Just preserve a shot on your insurance ball, and as it happened, the 2 ball got tied up, so that's not an insurance ball, and in fact, the only reasonable shot that I can see right now is this 9 ball. I'm going to go ahead and hit play because I know it takes me a while to study this and figure out what to do, because this is a crucial point in the rack. I've got balls open now. It almost no longer looks like a big cluster. Now, a lot of times I'll look at balls in the center of the table and then perimeter balls. I don't have any perimeter balls. And that's why you got to take a look at this carefully and figure out what shots are you going to use to get at the remaining problems, which are like these 2 and these 2. This could be a break ball. One of these could be a break ball. So I'm in really good shape now. But if you don't take your time and really study this and make a good decision, things could get away from you. One of the things that I looked at right now is that these 2 balls both go over here. So I'm probably going to try to run into the balls, not so much at this point. I might want to try and maneuver around and play them where they lie, or do some very gentle nudges. But if these balls go here, how can I get my cue ball over here? So I'm pretty straight in on this stripe right now. But if I shoot the 7, and I believe it does go past the 6, now I'll have an angle on the 9, and then I could make the cue ball go this way. This is where I want the cue ball. If I misplay it, I'm going to have a shot on the 6 or this ball on the side maybe. But that's a good place to put the cue ball in order to gain access to open shots without nudging and have an opportunity to just nudge the rack open a little bit more. I don't remember what I do here. So let's see. I think I do shoot the 7. Yeah. So I have made the decision to shoot 7. But I'm not trying to open any more balls here. I probably can't. I'm pretty straight in, but. Oh, I did. Okay, I think that was a bad decision. Evidently, the 10 does go in the side. I think I was trying to stroke that hard enough to loosen up these 2 balls. In hindsight here, a little over a year later, I don't think that was the right decision. I think a stop shot getting on the angle on the 9 and coming over here would have been much better. But I've looked, and I've got a shot on the 10 in the side, and that's a tricky shot. You don't want to be playing position for that if you don't have to. I do have a shot on this ball in the corner, but it doesn't really help me with anything. And I'm elevated over these 2 stripes in order to shoot it, so I really don't want to try and take that on. I do have a slight, and I don't know, I might be pretty straight in on this ball. If I'm going to shoot that ball, what's next? I suppose I could shoot a stop shot, like I said before, and shoot this one in the corner and then try and nudge something, that or this. So I kind of put myself in a tricky spot. I'm not in full agreement with what I did. So I've taken a look, and I've decided, even though this 10 ball in the side isn't ideal, I've decided that's my best chance. Okay? So by shooting the 10 in the side, I'm preserving this as a break ball, and I do have an insurance ball on the 1 and probably the 6 up here. So what that means is I don't have to play position. Just make the 10, stop the cue ball there. It looks like I'm not stopping it. Oh, I was just using the 4 ball to stop it. So if you don't have to play position, then you can put all of your energies into pocketing the ball, and that's what helps. That's a tricky shot, so that's what helps with that shot. Now, I think the other reason why I went ahead and nudged the 4 is because that made the cue ball carom this way. And so now I have the cue ball in the spot that I said I needed it, which is to go this way. In doing so, this ball has become the break ball because I nudged the 5 out of there. So how many shots with that? It wasn't very many shots. I shot the opening shot to come down here. Then I shot one ball where I nudged, and then another ball where I nudged, and that was about it. So remember, after the break shot, there was 14 balls in a big loose cluster. 2 shots, I nudged them, and then it was open, and it was no longer trouble. So don't get excited. Just study what's there. Find a shot with the right angle, with insurance to get in and nudge them open. It doesn't take much nudging, and all of a sudden, here I am with only, 8 balls left on the table, and I'm practically ready to look at an M pattern. It looks like I have a slight angle on this stripe in the corner to nudge these balls. Don't have to nudge them hard. Just get this 2-ball over here a little bit, and then I've got insurance back this way, up here, and back this way. Let's see how that shot turns out. Another reason you don't want to hit this too hard is you don't want the cue ball to get lost. You know, if you hit it hard and you don't hit the 1 ball where you want, the cue ball can drift over here or can drift up table. So just a gentle nudge is all you need. This is a pretty ideal situation. Now you can't even tell that this rack started as an open cluster. This looks perfect. Nothing wrong here. I don't like the 2-ball as a key ball for this stripe as a break shot because it's too far over here. You'll have to draw your cue ball back in order to get on the break shot. It's okay. It can work. But I really think that this is a better key ball, this one, because it's closer. You can shoot it in either side pocket or a corner. And so you're just looking for a key ball for it. So we can use, I like the 4. You can drift down here and shoot this ball in the side pocket. That could be workable. This ball could also be used as a key ball if you want to come back this way and shoot the 2-ball as a key ball. I don't remember what I do. I'm sure some of you are seeing a pattern as well. It wouldn't be a mistake to turn around. And in fact, I should look at this, and I wish I would have. It's not a mistake to turn around and shoot this ball right now. You don't really need that ball hanging out there. Let's see how far my cue ball moves in this end pattern. So first shot, it didn't move very much. I anticipate close to a stop shot here. Yeah, okay, so now I'm probably going to shoot the 9 and bounce over, I would assume, for one of these. Probably the 6. So I'm probably thinking 4-2 is going to be my last 2 balls for the rack. Oh, no, fooled myself. I didn't realize I had that angle. But same thing, 6 ball to the 4 to the 2. My cue ball hasn't moved very much. It was a stop shot, and then I slid over here. That's not bad. And it traveled a little bit here, but certainly not very far, and that's super controllable. And so is this. The only shot I don't like is the 2-ball. If you have a stop shot, I mean, that's a tough break ball because that's a pretty sharp angle. This is one of the hardest things in straight pool is to draw this cue ball back just far enough, not too far and not too little. Let's see how I do. That's not the best. I really didn't change the angle. I just got closer to the ball. And that shows you why that key ball isn't that great. It's pretty tricky. Let's go ahead and look at the break shot. I don't have to hit this really hard because I've got a sharp angle. The cue ball is going to retain a lot of energy. We just want to control the cue ball. In this case, I think I would agree with shooting low. You could draw the cue ball to the head rail. It's better to just punch it. So I had an angle to go to the side rail. Okay. I think the reason why I hit it that hard is I probably checked that angle and knew that that's where I was going to be going. If you know that you're going to hit the top of the ball in the rack, then you can just do a soft punch and just kind of punch the cue ball up to center table. And so now this time we've got a similar result to what I've been talking in recent weeks. I've got 6 balls in the rack area, and they're pretty loose. And then I have perimeter balls. So now this is an ideal rack. I hope you like that rack of the week and got something from that. Check out my video about the BridgeMate. I think it's really cool. And thank you for watching. If you're going to play straight pool, play it straight. We'll see you next week. Rack of the week. Thanks. Bye.